everybody. Denise with Lazy K Mountain Homestead. Well, maybe as you can tell, I'm in my greenhouse, and this is one of my happy places for sure. It's a beautiful day outside here in Tennessee. It's March 10th, sunny, 60 some degrees, 80 in here, and there's not a cloud in the sky. So I have got my spring fever. I don't know about you guys. Wherever you are, I hope that you're having a wonderful, blessed day. So what I'm doing, it's time here in Tennessee to start all of our seedlings. Willis and I do sell things out of our greenhouse. In our state, we have to have our greenhouses inspected. The reason for that is they try to keep track of any invasive insects that might come into the greenhouse, and then you sell them, and then they, multiply and go wherever. And also, there's a few flowers that we can't sell in Tennessee because they are invasive. One of them is a morning glory, which I love them. We have them wild around here, but I can't grow them in my greenhouse. Or honeysuckle, and I know there's one more thing, but it's all things that kind of, once it takes, it just goes crazy. So for the most part, we grow vegetables, and I do grow some flowers. The local co-op asked me to start growing them flower seedlings a few years ago, and I have done that. Last year I couldn't because I had COVID 4 times, and it was just too much. So I'm back with a vengeance this year. I've got them all over there. You can't really see them from the camera view. What we've got here on the table are cabbage seedlings. I've got more cabbage seedlings over here. The greenhouse is really packed with stuff because it's kind of a storage area during the winter time. I've got 2 heaters out here, and I have grow lights. Well, not grow lights, they're heat lamps actually, out here too, because it does get very cold. This week's going to be great. I won't have to have anything on out here because it'll stay warm in the greenhouse. But last week we had 20s and teens, so I had to use the brooder lamps with the heat bulbs and kerosene heater in here. I try to keep it about 70 degrees all the time. During the night, I can't really regulate except for a fan going. You may hear that in the background. But 80 degrees is good during the day. So we have, let's see, these are late flathead Dutch, and over there I've got bald head Danish cabbage, which did really well last year. And I've got them all in these. I sell them in these, and I also sell them in the 4-packs. So I started using these cups because they're a lot more economical than these, but I did find on Amazon a company where I can get these. I think it's 96, which is counting the holes, 4-packs for $8 for so it's 96. So I don't know, my math isn't that great, but anyways, it's like this, and you get that for $8. Also comes with your little garden things that you write on there, and it also came with a marker that's better than a Sharpie, because regular Sharpies out in the weather will fade, even though they do really well in the house. But they do really good on here, and they don't fade with water or the sunlight. So far, so good. So I'm going to be planting the rest of these flathead Dutch cabbage in the 4-packs, and we try to sell them at really economical prices. This year, we're going to sell these cabbages for 4 cabbages for $1, because Wills and I were talking about the other day, when you go to the store and you buy a cabbage head, you're going to pay like maybe $1 or less, depending on how much poundage they're charging. So why would you want to buy a cabbage plant for, $1 or more? A lot of these companies now, the big companies, sell them for so much, and it's just kind of sad, because you're turning away people that really can't afford that. And I'm talking about all walks of life, I can't afford it. If, sorry, I'm a tomboy. If I had to, pay $6 for a cabbage plant, and I could just go to my local Walmart and buy a cabbage head for $1, I don't think I would be doing that, because it's a lot of time and effort to grow a garden. Even if you just use a bucket or a raised bed, a bucket, a raised bed, or like a 5-gallon bucket. But I will tell you, if you're going to plant cabbages and you don't have a garden area, 5-gallon bucket, which is bigger than this, is your best option, because cabbage and broccoli, cauliflower, they have really long roots and they need to feed. Also, traditional collard greens also have a really long root, so they need a lot of space. So anyways, I have got to water all these, and we usually get our water from our rain barrels. We're able to catch water here, and some states don't allow you to do that, which I think is kind of crazy. I mean, I get it, because it's taken away from like the desert lands, and they need the water to keep their things flourishing, cactus and things like that. So, but still kind of crazy that you can't catch water. Also, what I'm going to do today is plant our tomato plants from seed, which we do, like I said. What we do is a little bit different than most people, I think. We've been doing this for about 3 years now. We used to go ahead and just plant them in these individual cups like so. But what I do is I take my seeds and I'll fill up something like this. Even smaller is fine. Probably about halfway up, and then I'll just put maybe 30 tomato seeds in there. Maybe more. It just depends on the size of your container. And they will sprout up, and it seems like there's strength in numbers, because they are so much hardier when I grow them from seeds when they're all together in here. I don't know if it's a phenomenon or if it's something that everybody knows about, but when I was working in greenhouses in my early life, they always planted them in separately, in little containers. So I just started doing that. I think it's really great, because then you can just transplant. You've got a really hardy tomato plant, and you can put them in your cup, and you can put it all the way down here, planting it deep. And usually we sell our tomato plants for anywhere from $1 to $2 each, because we feel everybody should be able to have a garden. There shouldn't be the reason that you can't is because you can't afford it. I just think that's a shame. I know companies have to stay in business, and I know a lot of companies, without naming names, you've probably seen them all over. They ship all over the United States, and they have to pay their driver, they have to pay their fuel, they have to pay the truck, and they have to make a profit. But I think if you could probably find somebody local that's selling them like this, you're going to have a lot more plants and flowers in your garden than have to pay those crazy prices they're charging now. I just think it's awful. But y'all do what you want to do. It's up to you. I'm just saying. But if you find somebody who's got a little greenhouse like we do, there's a lot of people around. Some people just grow them right in their house, and then they sell them at the local flea market or farmer's market. Give them a try, because you're going to pay less probably. People may charge a little bit more than we do. I don't know, but I just feel like $1 is $1. If I sold everything that I grow in here for $1, I'd make a lot of money. Oh, I think maybe somebody's here. Let me go see the mail. Be right back. Okay, guys, I'm back. Well, the mail was a gift from a Pampered Chef consultant. I just did a party for her, and she sent me some really nice gifts. It wasn't even my order, so I was really kind of tickled about that. I had to go in the house and call Willis and tell him. So anyways, let's get back to our gardening. Okay, I've got, let me see, 2, 4, 6, 8 of these size. And like I said, you can use any size you want to. If you want to use a smaller size, it's up to you. I like this size, and I put dirt in it. I've got my potting soil here, and I mix it with our rabbit manure that we have here on our property. And I just fill each one of these about half full. And then I will just plant the tomatoes seeds right in there. Gets a little stuck in there. Kind of have to moisture and everything. Get it loosened up there. Okay. So we'll just go ahead and fill all these out. Like this one's a smaller one. See, it doesn't really matter. It just depends on how much soil you have. You can use cups or grow bags or whatever you, but we transplant our tomato seeds out of these into cups for sale. And you know, it might seem like, well, a lot of effort and time to have to transplant, but for me, if I'm going to have a nice healthy plant, I'm going to transplant it so I can have it way down here, and like I said before, plant it deep. That way it's giving your tomato plant a lot of sturdy dirt to hold it up, and it will be even stronger. The root system will be stronger, because I don't know if you've noticed with tomato plants, if any of their stalks touch the ground, you'll see these little white things, and those are what they call legs. And that's how a tomato plant supports itself. And that's what will happen in those cups when you plant them deep. And so when you're also planting your tomato plants out in your garden, you want to plant them deep so they have sturdiness from the ground. Okay, so I ordered a bunch of different tomatoes, some tried and true, but I've got Cherokee Purple, Aunt Ruby's or Aunt Ruby's German Green. That's something new. These are all from Totally Tomatoes. Artesian Pink Jazz. Haven't tried that before. Old German. We grow that every year. We like that one. Hillbilly. We grew that last year. We liked it. It's kind of like a Mr. Stripey or a rainbow. It's got the same pinks, yellow, oranges, but they're different. They're like different layers than those others that I just mentioned. It's kind of interesting how they do that. German head, that's something new. It's supposed to be a really large tomato, and it is pink. Georgia steak, streak, can't even read. That is a gold pink. That's something that Willis wanted to try. What we do is we like to go through the seed catalogs that come the end of December and January and always order something new and different. This is another pink. He wanted all these pink, which I like pink. Pink is a little bit more sweet than acidy. The red tomatoes are a little bit more acidy than the colors. Like yellow tomatoes hardly have any acid in them. And pink is like next down, and then the red has got most acid. This is a beefsteak called Dester, Dester. And then dinner plate. We've done this one before. Large red, and they have a yellow one of these too, and they get huge. I'll try to put a little picture of me holding them a few years ago when my grandson Justin was here. He helped us with the garden, and that was 7 years ago, so I'll look a little bit different 7 years younger. Oh, those were the days. Anyway, so these all have 30 seeds in them, so I'm going to plant about, well, let's see, probably 15 seeds. Like this one, I'll plant 15, then a different. So I'll just go ahead and just get a few out of here. I'm just going to eyeball 15. That looks like about 15 to me. Maybe a little bit more. Let's see. Okay, and I'm just going to kind of just put them down there like that. And then I will grab some more dirt from my bucket. You can use any kind of potting soil you want. You can use the seed starting mix if you want to. I do that with my flowers. But I usually, when I'm planting vegetables, I'll go ahead and use the potting soil and then mix, like I said, the rabbit manure in here. This is dry rabbit manure, so it flakes really good. If you guys ever can get a hold of some rabbit manure, it can be used straight from the butt to the plant. You don't have to worry about it. My nose is running. Burning your plants or being too hot for your plants at all. Goat is the same. We use goat too, but rabbit, from what I understand in my research, has got everything and more than you need for your garden. And we've been using it in our big gardens too. Okay, so that one was dinner plate. So I'm going to just set these in here until I decide I'm going to go ahead and use those markers. The dirt's not wet yet, so I'm not worried about it making this paper wet. Okay. There we go. Stick you in there and just sprinkle some dirt. And I just put about a handful on top of each one. Okay. So Georgia Street. I'm just going to go as long as I've got as many as I have containers here for now. Well, these have big seeds, so that's different. Let me see. This is large gold pink. That should be kind of pretty, shouldn't it? Go ahead and put these right here. Georgia Streak. So I wonder if they are streaked with gold or red or pink. We'll have to see. When the tomatoes come up, we'll definitely do another video, which will probably be in August for that, but I'll have garden tours and stuff between now and then. I hope you'll stick with us. Listen, and I want to thank all my subscribers, all my viewers. If you haven't subscribed, I hope you would. And thank you for viewing. All my new subscribers, oh my gosh, you guys, thank you so much. We've had like 22 new subscribers in the last week, and I really appreciate that so much. I think we have to get up to 1,000 subscribers before YouTube considers us to monetize us. So we haven't gotten there, but I'm sure we will at some point. But I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. We really appreciate it. We're not doing this for the money. We're just doing it because, well, I'm retired, and this has just been a dream of mine to have this farm. And Willis has made my dream come true. We both have put time and effort in it. Okay, this one is Old German. Like I said, these all have 30 seeds, but I'm putting about 15 in each one. This one's called Artesian Jazz. I am not familiar with this one at all. Tiny little seeds. Okay, go ahead and put that in there. All right, that's that. And I got one last. Well, I almost had enough. I have the Cherokee Purple last, but I'll do that later. This one is Aunt Ruby's German Green. So that's a large green. I don't know about you, but when I grow a green tomato, I have a hard time figuring out if they're ripe or not. So if you guys have any tips on that, let me know. I usually just kind of go by the softness of the tomato itself. Okay, so all of these are planted, I guess you'd say. The seeds are in here. And what I'm going to do before I go ahead and water them, because I don't want my seeds in these packets to get waterlogged, I'm going to go ahead, let me see, I know I have that here, and write down on this these little sticks here what they are. So this is dinner plate, and what I like to do is write down on the opposite side how many days it takes to germinate till it's ready to be picked. And this is 90 to 100 days, and that tells me this is an heirloom. Okay, it's been a while since we did that. And that way I can just take this out, dinner plate's there, and I'll water that. So I'm not going to make you guys watch me do all that, but I did want to show you something else that we did different this year. And I'll bring these over. This is just really cool. I've been wanting to do this for a while. This is from Vermont Bean and Seed Company. I think I've ordered from them before too. I'm going to go ahead and turn this around so you can see what I'm doing. These, this is dry bush beans, but it says heirloom soup mix. So if you've ever been to the grocery store and you see that 15 bean soup, this is it. So you just make your row in your garden. These are bush beans, so you don't need poles or anything. But look at this. It's got every one of those beans in there that would be in the 15 bean soup. And you just grow, and so all these are going to grow in your garden. How beautiful is that going to be? And when you pick them, you're going to have all these beans. Now, these are dried beans, so you're going to leave them on until they dry. So that will be, it says 85 to 90 days. You pick the pods, not, you're picking your bean pods, and you're going to let them dry before you take them out, and you'll have dried beans for your bean soup. I'm sure you could go ahead and cook them in the pods too if you wanted to eat them that way, like a green bean kind of thing. But that's what we're going to do. And I'm excited about this. That's something different. I like to do some different things. And then the next thing I got is called chili bean mix. And we love chili, especially in the wintertime. It's a comfort food for us. This also bush beans. Look at all those pretty chili beans in there. Same thing, make your row, just plant them like you normally would. And they're just going to be a mix of these bush beans. How cool is that? And you're going to go ahead and let these dry inside the pod too. And it says 85 to 100 days. So what you're going to do, and I'll do a video as we get closer to harvesting these, you're going to let them get dry on your bean plant. I've never done this with bush beans, but I've done it with pole beans because we are seed savers, and we've done it with our case knife beans and our turkey craw and our white half runners. So I'm sure it's to be the same. With bush beans, I usually grow early contenders and you get about 3 pickings. But with these, I'm going to see what it looks like, how many I get, pods and stuff. And I want to make sure. Yeah, it says allow beans to remain on the plant until pods are brown and begin to shatter. That's exactly what you do for a pole bean. Okay, so they're called shelly beans. Shelly beans are where you take them out of the shell and they're going to be dried. And you just save them and put them in your ball jar or whatever. Make sure they're dry because you don't want any mold. And you've got that, and you just go ahead and cook your soups, your chilies. How cool is that, huh? I just think that's a really neat idea. And let me see if there's anything else over here. Oh, Willis wanted to plant what they call here in Tennessee October beans. Well, Vermont Seed Company had these flambeau. They're called flambeau, but they look just like October beans to him. And this is what they look like. Aren't they pretty? They're also a shelly bean. And let me see here. What else did I get? Oh, those are flambeaus too. And I guess that's all we got from them. I did order some onion plants. They haven't come yet. But that is what we're doing in the greenhouse today. Lots of fun stuff. And after I stop talking and end the video, I'm going to just kind of scan what I've got going on. So you'll see, I've got onions and lettuce, and then we've got some tomatoes and more broccoli, all seedlings, and then flowers. And I also have some hanging baskets the co-op wants me to grow, and that's a lot of what those flowers are. But I also picked up these petunias. It's 5,000 seeds in here, it says. This is that little petunia that you see that a lot Lowe's has a lot. It's not the big one that smells. This has never had a fragrance as far as I know. But that's a mix. I thought that was beautiful. So I'm going to go ahead and do these raised beds, these hanging baskets too. So guys, that is it for my video today. I hope you'll like, share, and subscribe. Really appreciate all your views. And let me just go ahead and be quiet and let you see what we've got going on in here. Like I said, it's kind of a mess right now, but it's our greenhouse.